afternoon and welcome to Chippewa Valley High School, home of the Big Reds, as we get set to call the action today. Girls varsity softball, a matchup between rivals, the Chippewa Valley Big Reds and the Dakota Cougars. Let's meet the starting lineup first for the Dakota Cougars, who come in with a record of 9-2. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Jenna Higgins. Batting second, the right fielder, Julia Sandals. Batting third, the third baseman, Kylie Phelan. Cleaning things up will be the catcher, Bella Krager. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Sydney Puffpath. Batting sixth will be the first baseman, Casey Ross. In the seventh spot will be the pitcher, Gracie Maloney. Batting eighth and playing second base, Annika Silver. And batting ninth will be the shortstop, Brooke Gaffke. The Big Red starting defense first, the infield. Playing third base, Frankie Goodrich. Playing shortstop, Angelina Munson. Playing second base, Cammie Metcalf. And playing first, Ella Anglin. The outfield from left to right will be Abby Palmer, Sam Mondalek, and Rachel Kraus. Tessa Klein will be behind the plate, and Anna Kadravak will be in the circle getting the start at pitcher. This is a MAC Red matchup. Dakota comes in with a 9-2 record under the guidance of first-year head coach Shelby Weeks. Chippewa Valley Big Reds 4-4, 2-2 in MAC Red play. They too are coached by a first-year head coach in Stephen Lorway. Temperatures in the mid-70s, playing under mostly cloudy skies. Rain is in the area. We hope it holds off. We are underway. First pitch low and outside. Skips in. There is a stiff breeze. I'll even call it a wind blowing in from right field straight across the diamond. And maybe a factor on balls hit into the outfield. Jenna Higgins in that left-hand batter's box takes a look at a called strike. Evens up the count at 1-1 strike. Higgins, Sandals, Phelan, top three of the Cougar lineup. Top of the first inning. So glad you decided to tune us in here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. I'm Brad Fetters, and they are going to call her safe. Infield single off the bat of Jenna Higgins. First base runner of the ball game for the Cougars. It was a slow grounder to the shortstop, Munson. Throw was a little high, pulled Ella Anglin's foot off the bag over at first base. So back-to-back lefty batters to lead things off here for the Cougars. Julia Sandals, the right fielder. Back to the pitcher's circle, and second baseman looking for the bag. They're going to call her safe, and then they're going to get the lead runner cut down at third. Sandals takes off for second, and she will go in ahead of the tag with a head first slide. So just trying to sacrifice the runner over. They'll trade base runners, and the Big Reds record the first out of the inning. Now the two umpires are going to talk things over and try to figure this out. Coach Shelby Weeks in that third base coach's box, having a discussion with home plate umpire Steve Youngblood. Not going to win the argument. So one down, Julia Sandals, the base runner at second base, and it brings up Kylie Phelan, the third baseman. Phelan goes down into her crouch, rests the bat against her back shoulder, and takes a hit-by pitch off the front knee. So Sandals will have to go back to second base. Two runners on now for the Cougars. And they'll bring up their cleanup hitter, the catcher, Bella Krager. Tessa Klein going to go out and talk to her starting pitcher, Anna Kadravak. Short conversation. Exchange fist pumps. Tessa Klein directing her infield defense. Krager digs in. Slightly open stance, looks at a pitch inside, makes its way all the way to the backstop. Sandals makes a wide turn at third before going back. A little bit of a unique backstop here at Chippewa Valley High School. bricks along the lines all the way to the dugouts. There is a pad directly behind home plate. High strike called at the letters. Big opportunity here for Krager in the early part of this first inning. 1 down, 2 runners on, both in scoring position. Julia Sandals, the runner at third. Kylie Phelan, the runner at second base. Opportunity for the Cougars to jump ahead, and Krager was hit by a pitch. So back-to-back batters hit by pitches will load the bases for Dakota. Bases chock full of Cougars. And the left fielder, Sydney Puffpaff, at the plate. We'll have a courtesy runner now for the catcher. Allison Fluker will be the courtesy runner for Dakota down at first base. Puffpaff at the plate. Takes the inside pitch and laces it into right field. 1 run in. Throw comes into first base. 2 RBI single for Sydney Puffpaff. And the Cougars have opened up the scoring. They lead it now 2-0. So first pitch swinging there for Sydney Puffpaff. Clean single into right field. Still just 1 away. Runners at first and second. Brings up Casey Ross, the first baseman. Pitch misses low. 1 ball, no strike to count on the first baseman. Dakota dugout making all kinds of noise, and why not? They have struck first here in this ball game. Lead it 2-0. Pitch misses up and into Casey Ross. She looks down at her head coach. Digs back in that right-hand batter's box. Corner infielders are in for Ross, who slashes 1 foul down the third baseline. Runs the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Ross carries a .211 average into play today. Does have 8 RBI from that 6-hole. That ball misses low and inside. Throw down to third. Scooped up momentarily by Goodrich. Good play by her just to keep that ball in front of her. So good hitters count now for Casey Ross with 2 runners in scoring position. Dakota an opportunity here to really put up a crooked number. Control issues a problem right now for Kadrovac. And she walks Casey Ross to load him once again. So the second time already in this first inning that Dakota has loaded the bases. And now you're going to see a full-on conference in the circle. Stephen Lorway, the head coach for Chippewa Valley, has sprung out of that visitor's dugout along the first base line. They have a one-sided conversation with his pitcher. Just 1 out recorded so far by the Big Red defense. Gracie Maloney, the starting pitcher now at the plate. Maloney, a .333 hitter, 12 hits on the season, 7 singles, 5 doubles, and has also recorded 9 RBI on the season. Another big moment in this ball game. Chippewa Valley, desperate need of an out. Maloney takes a look at a called strike. Front foot just inside the chalk line in that right-hand batter's box. Fouls 1 away down the third baseline, quickly in an 0-2 hole. Strikeout for Kadrovac would go a long way. Glares in at the home dugout. Gets the pitch call off the armband and misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Gracie Maloney. Annika Silver waits on deck. Pitch missing outside. Evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runs in on 2 hits so far for the Cougars. Maloney ropes one down the third base line. Nearly took out her head coach, Shelby Weeks. Gracie Maloney, a multi-sport athlete here at Dakota High School. Terrific basketball player as well. Holds that bat on her back shoulder. Slightly crouched stance. Takes a pitch and fouls it away once again. So good battle between pitchers here. Kadrovac in the circle for Chippewa Valley, and Gracie Maloney going to get the start momentarily in the circle for Dakota. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bases still loaded here for Dakota. 2 runs already in. Maloney fouls it off once again. Really making Kadrovac work here. He's already thrown a ton of pitches. Operates from that third base side of the rubber. Comes home with it. Maloney singles through the box into center field. Throw is cut off in the circle by the pitcher. And it will be a 2 RBI single for Gracie Maloney. Dakota, 4 runs in. And it will be, in fact, Annika Silvers. We'll get a courtesy runner now for the pitcher, Gracie Maloney. It'll be number 5, Alexa Yaklin. So Yaklin, the runner down at first base. Casey Ross at second. And Annika Silver at the plate. Silver grounds one to the third baseman, Goodrich. Quickly across the diamond, high throw. Gets past the first baseman, Anglin. And it will allow another run to score. Call it a fielder's choice error on the third baseman, Goodrich, allowing the 5th run to score. The 9th place batter, Brooke Gaffke, to bat now. So the Cougars have officially batted around here in the first inning. Have plated 5 runs, 2 more runners in scoring position. Anna Kadrovac goes into the windup. Gaffke swings through and misses. No balls, 2 strikes, the count on the shortstop. Frankie Goodrich down at third base continues to guard the line. Ella Anglin down at first base. A couple steps in front of the bag. Gaffke follows one away in that right-hand batter's box. Abby Palmer in left field playing Gaffke to pull. Sam Mondalek in center field playing straight away. 195 feet across the outfield fence. That wind just continues to blow. Couple of lines of storms out west. Threat of rain continues to play a factor here this afternoon. Kadrovac comes home with the pitch. Gaffke fouls one. Nope, it's a fair ball right in front of home plate, and the field ump's gonna say safe. So a Gaffke single will load the bases now for the leadoff hitter. Already the 10th Cougar to bat here in the first inning. So the courtesy runner down at third was forced to hold at third. Silver remained at second as she almost got all the way down to third base. Tessa Klein, nice job blocking that pitch. Kept it in front of her, prevented the base runners from scoring or moving up a base. Higgins 1 for 1 in the ball game, led things off with a single. Takes a look at a pitch high and away. 2 balls, no strikes, the count on the center fielder. Belted to straightaway center. Mondelek goes back, hauls it in, quickly gets it into the diamond, and will prevent the runner from scoring at third base. So maybe not a great read down there by the base runner at third. Second out of the inning. Definitely deep enough to allow for a sac fly. So a little bit of a base running miscue there perhaps for the Cougars, as it will bring up the right fielder, Julius Sandals. 2 away, bases loaded. Sandals well out in front of that off-speed pitch. No balls, 1 strike, the count on Sandals. Sandals in that left-hand batter's box. Looping hit to shallow center field. Run scores. So it will be a double. Got the runner cut down at third base, but the 2 runs did score before the tag was applied. So the score should be 7-0 after a half inning of play. We'll take a quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. When we come back, starting lineups for the home team, the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. Smoking is down, but vaping is way up. There doesn't seem to be a stigma attached really to vaping.
Unregulated residue that stays in your body, in your lung tissue in particular, heavy metals, toxins, poisons. A lot of the residue as it burns leaves a sticky film that coats your upper respiratory system. It never was safe and it never should have been rolled out.
Welcome back to Chippewa Valley High School. Let's meet the starting lineup first for the Big Reds. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Sam Mondelek. Batting second will be the left fielder, Abby Palmer. Batting third and playing third base, Frankie Goodrich. Cleaning things up will be the designated player, Ari Neal. Batting fifth, the pitcher, Anna Kadrovac. Batting sixth will be the first baseman, Ella Anglin. Batting seventh and catching, Tessa Klein. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Rachel Kraus. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Angelina Munson. Dakota's defense around the infield at third base, Kylie Phelan. At shortstop, Brooke Gaffke. At second base, Annika Silver. Playing first base, Casey Ross. The Cougar outfield defense, in left field, Sydney Puffpath. In center field, Jenna Higgins. And in right field, Julia Sandals. Catching today will be Bella Krager, and getting the start in the circle, Gracie Maloney. Gracie is dominating as they come in the pitcher's circle. 9 games started already this season. 7-1 record, 51 innings pitched, has given up 8 runs, 16 hits, has struck out 104 batters while issuing just 15 walks this season. She features a riser, a changeup, and a curve. Big, tall right-hander comes home with the riser. Sam Mondelek swings through and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Count to the leadoff hitter. Dakota struck first in a big way in the top half of the first inning, plating 7 runs, and given Gracie Maloney a large lead to work with. Mondelek, Palmer, and Goodrich, the top of the batting order for the Big Reds. Mondelek in that left-hand batter's box. Maloney comes home with the off-speed pitch. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on the center fielder. Gets the signal. Comes home with the 2-2 pitch and gets the strikeout of Mondelek. Brings up Abby Palmer. Corner of the Cougars infield defense in slightly. Shortstop and second baseman at their normal depth. And riser misses high and away. 1 ball, no strike to count on Abby Palmer. Palmer slightly open stance, offers at the 1-0 and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Off-speed pitch misses up and in. 2 ball, 1 strike. Jenna Higgins, the center fielder, playing fairly shallow. Squaring around to bunt, following one straight back is Abby Palmer. Mentioned Gracie Maloney, a multi-sport athlete here at Dakota. Well, Abigail Palmer, also a multi-sport athlete for Chippewa Valley. Palmer plays basketball as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Palmer. Maloney misses up and in. We'll fill it up. Payoff pitch. And they're going to ring her up. Home plate umpire Steve Youngblood said it was a strike. So 2 up, 2 down, both via the strikeout. And it'll leave things up to Frankie Goodrich, the 3rd sacker. Goodrich, one of the highest batting averages on the team for Chippewa Valley. A .429 average coming into play this afternoon. A little check swing, called strike by the home plate umpire. Maloney just continues to pump heat. This one's fouled away. Makes its way onto the baseball field behind home plate. White Cadillac directly in path of that softball. Just avoided a broken window. Balls, 2 strikes to count on Goodrich. This is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seven 0. Cougars in front. A very productive first inning as they sent 11 batters to the plate. Gonna get check swing. Field umpire says no. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to count, 2 away. Ari Neal, the designated player, waits on deck, hoping to get an opportunity to hit here in the first inning. Maloney goes into her windup, comes home with it, another foul ball. So good little battle here by Frankie Goodrich. See why she carries the highest average into play this afternoon for this Chippewa Valley Big Red squad. Chippewa Valley in their home whites, Big Reds across the front of their jerseys. Dakota in those whites with blue stripes and blue numerals. Frankie Goodrich goes down swinging. Gracie Maloney strikes out the side. Really impressive stuff. After 1 inning of play, the Dakota Cougars lead the Chippewa Valley Big Reds 7-0. Row half of the 2nd inning coming up next.
Parents, your children's brains are still developing.
The brains of children and teens continue to develop until they are in their mid-20s and can be damaged if they use alcohol, marijuana, vape products, or other drugs.
Damage can include lifelong problems with memory, learning, behavior, and can result in addiction.
Talk early and talk often to your children and teens about these dangers.
This message is from the Chippewa Valley Coalition for Youth and Family.
It'll be the heart of the Cougar lineup to bat here in the second inning. 3, 4, 5, Phelan, Krager, Puffpath. Phelan, the third baseman, was hit by a pitch, came around to score. First plate appearance in this ball game. Seven runs on just 5 hits for the Cougars. Kadrovac struggling with her control at times in that first inning. Hit 2 batters as well as issued a base on balls. Cougars were able to load the bases a couple times. Big hit at the ball game so far, Julia Sandals, 2 RBI double. There's a hot shot down to third base. Absolutely handcuffed Goodrich. And we'll call that a double off the bat of Phelan. Not much Goodrich could do at the hot corner.
Now batting number 14.
So leadoff double for Phelan, Bella Krager. She too was hit by a pitch and came around to score 8 inning ago. Down to third base, Goodrich able to field this, looks the runner back to second, and able to get Krager by a step. Terrific play down at third base by Goodrich. Records the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 10, Sydney Puffpath.
Really good heads up play, good softball IQ to look the runner back to second base. Puffpath 1 for 1 in the ball game, and well out in front of that off-speed pitch. Puffpath, 286 hitter for head coach Shelby Weeks. Takes a look at a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kylie Phelan, the base runner, down at second base for Dakota. Pitch misses low and outside. This is a makeup game from an earlier season rainout. These 2 teams will hook up one more time as Puffpath goes down swinging. And they're not going to be able to record the out as the pitch got away from Tessa Klein. So it's recorded a strikeout and a pass ball. Put runners on the corners now for Dakota. The next matchup between these 2 teams will be played over at Dakota and will take place on May 7th. Casey Ross, hot shot to straightaway center. Mondalek able to field it. And the throw comes all the way in from center field. So a long, loud out off the bat of Casey Ross. And for a second time in this ball game, the runner from third base electing not to tag up and score. So 2 down now in the second inning. Gracie Maloney. One of those Cougars that was 1 for 1 in the first inning with a run scored. She singled and came around. Changeup misses up. Cougar bench making all kinds of noise. Maloney waits on it. Floats one to shallow left. It's going to one hop in front of Palmer. So Maloney, an RBI single. Phelan comes around to score the Cougars' 8th run of the ball game. So Yaklin will be the courtesy runner for Grace Maloney. Annika Silver at the plate. Reached on an error in the first. Another hot shot past Goodrich down at third. Single off the bat of Silver. Will load the bases. So the merry-go-round of base runners here for the Cougars continues. Third time already in this ball game they have loaded the bases. The 9th place batter, Brooke Gaffke, going to get an opportunity here. 1 for 1 with a single. Inside pitch, cut on and missed. Kadravak going with the changeup there. Gaffke fouls it away. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. Gaffke just over the shortstop's head. 2 runs will score, 2 RBI single off the bat of Brooke Gaffke. Cougars now lead it 10-0. Stephen Lorway is going to take the ball from Anna Kadravak. So we will have a pitching change now for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. It'll be Lilia Vernick in relief. Vernick carries a .388 ERA into play this afternoon. While she tunes up, we'll take a quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television.
Parents. Many teens mistakenly believe that the THC in marijuana is a safe drug.
They don't know today's marijuana is a highly potent drug and that using it can result in
harm to the developing brain, learning problems, anxiety and depression, and can lead to addiction.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of marijuana use. If you don't talk with them, who will?
Vernick ready to go. She will face Jenna Higgins, the leadoff hitter for the Dakota Cougars. 3 more runs in here in the top of the 2nd inning. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Cougars. Gives them 10 runs on 9 hits now in the ball game. Vernick, right-handed reliever, comes to the letters and misses high and away on her first pitch of the ball game. Comes into a tough spot. 2 runners on, first and second, 2 away. Looking for the 3rd out of this 2nd inning. Up and in, a little chin music. Makes its way all the way to the backstop, allows both runners to scamper up a base. Silver, the base runner, at 3rd. Gaffke at 2nd now for Dakota. 2 more runners in scoring position for Jenna Higgins. Opportunity to add on 2 to an already 10-0 lead. Vernick has missed on her first 3 pitches. 3 balls, no strike the count on Higgins. And 4 straight outside the zone to Higgins. And it'll load the bases once again for Dakota. So Anna Kadravak able to go 1 2/3 of an inning. Really, this is just a loaded Dakota Cougar offense. Hard to keep them down. Julia Sandals will be the 9th batter to now bat here in the 2nd inning. So Dakota sent 11 to the plate in the first, now 9 hitters here in the 2nd, as they will bat around for the 2nd straight inning. Sandals, 1 for 2 with a double. Does have a run scored as well. Sandals fouls one down the third baseline. Gray skies all around are fighting the threat of rain here. I think at some point we will get hit with some storms. Hopefully the ball game will be played in its entirety before that happens. Looking ahead, the bottom of the second inning, it'll be 4, 5, 6 in the Big Red lineup. Face Gracie Maloney, who was dominant in the circle in the first inning. She was able to record all 3 of the outs via the punch out. Wind just continues to whip through here as Sandals goes down swinging. Vernick comes in and limits the damage and records the strikeout there. 1.5 in the books. Dakota 10, Chippewa Valley nothing.
Parents. Many teens today mistakenly believe that vaping decreases anxiety and calms them down.
Vaping nicotine or THC marijuana can actually increase feelings of anxiety and depression.
Vaping can become addictive.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of vaping.
If you don't talk with them, who will?
Gracie Maloney back to work in the circle for the Dakota Cougars. As Dakota leads it 10-0. Gracie Maloney going to be taking her talents to North Texas next season. The Mean Green, they're getting a good one in Gracie Maloney. And when we talk about domination, she has had 2 outings already this spring that were nothing short of dominant. She tossed the no-hitter already this season against Country Day, and then came back with a 16 strikeout performance in a game against Grand Blanc. So, softball game regulation 7 innings, that's 21 outs. 16 of the 21 outs recorded in that ball game were recorded via a strikeout by Gracie Maloney. Yep. So that was a foul ball straight back, and it came right back at me. Off the bat of Ari Neal, and now she will go down swinging. So 4 up, 4 down, all via the strikeout now for Gracie Maloney. Got to call an error on myself. Had an opportunity to catch that softball and went in and out of my right hand. My defense, I do have a pen in my right hand. I just flat out dropped it, folks. Anna Kadrovac. No longer in the lineup. So Vernick will hit for her now. So it's a straight sub. And we have a break in the action. It looks like a Dakota Cougar player might have been hurt down the third baseline near the bullpens. Tend to her down the third baseline. Vernick at the plate now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on the pitcher. Injured Cougar is up on her feet and appears to be okay. Vernick goes down swinging. 5 up, 5 down with 5 strikeouts. Bring up Ella Anglin, the first baseman. Big Reds looking for their first base runner of the ball game. Riser misses up and outside. Called straight, late straight call by home plate umpire Youngblood. Whatever is coming, it is blowing through right now. Rising fastball swung on and missed by Anglin. Nice job by our talented CVC TV camera crew. And a shot into right center field. Anglin turns and will hold. She is the first base runner of the ball game. First hit of the ball game for Chippewa Valley. And now brings up Tessa Klein, the catcher. Klein, a .308 batting average, committed to Rochester University. Check swing, called strike by the home plate umpire. Snap throw down to first base, makes its way out to right field. Anglin gonna take off for second, and she is thrown out. 2 innings in the books. Dakota Cougars lead it 10-0.
The greatest deficit in our culture and society right now is sleep. Everything spins off of that. You don't repair, you don't grow, you don't maximize training effect, you don't knock out inflammation, which at night, that's when the repair job's done. You don't clear out the residue from your neural metabolism from your brain. You do a lot of heavy mental work and there's residue left in brain tissue. At night, it actually washes out of your brain tissue. Cerebrospinal fluid washes out and clears out all this residue in your brain. It's amazing stuff. If you don't get it out of there, that residue is still left there the next day, and you have problems, cognitive problems, thinking problems, memory problems, and so forth. So, I mean, we've created this for ourselves. At the expense of sleep, it affects almost everything. Your neurotransmitters. We have a generation of kids who are neurotransmitter depleted, running around trying to do things that just, it doesn't support function.
Middle of the Dakota batting order, 3, 4, 5 to bat in the top half of the third inning. Cougars already in front, 10-0. Slow grounder to the second baseman, Metcalf shovels it over to England over at first. 1 up, 1 down via 1 pitch. Brings up Bella Krager. Temperature, folks, no exaggeration, has dropped about 10 degrees here. We're in the mid-70s at first pitch. Krager, hot shot through the middle, base hit into center field. Her first hit of the ball game. Dakota, 10 runs on 9 hits now, gives them 10 hits in the ball game. So Fluker will come in and courtesy run for Bella Krager. And brings up Sydney Puffbath, 1 for 2 with a couple runs scored. Has reached base twice. Singled in the first, struck out. Was able to get down to first base on a pass ball. Strike on the outer half of home plate. No balls, 1 strike to count on Puff Paff. Gonna be a massive uphill climb here for the Big Reds to catch up in this ball game. Trail 10-0. Puff Paff loops one into left field, over the left fielder head, all the way to the wall. Palmer hits her cutoff man, Angelina Munson, but it's an RBI double for Puff Paff. Some big add-on runs here for the Dakota Cougars.
Now batting number 33, Casey Ross.
Brings up Casey Ross, 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the first, flew out to the center fielder Mondalek in the second. Ross thought about it, checks the swing. Home plate umpire calls strike. $11-0 Cougars in front of the Big Reds. Ross flies one to Mondalek. Good running catch into the right center field gap. So second time Ross has flown out to Mondalek in center field. Second recorded out of the inning, and it'll bring up Gracie Maloney. Maloney already 2 for 2 in the ball game. 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Timeout on the field will allow Angelina Munson opportunity to fix her visor. Nope, she's just going to go without it. She handed it over to the umpire instead. Gracie Maloney asks for time, gets it. Fouls one straight in front of home plate. That's a fair ball. And Klein unable to make a play on it. Klein sprung out of her catcher's position, attempted to catch that pop-up, sort of fell directly on the softball. So one of the shortest hit singles of the season for Gracie Maloney. So we're going to courtesy runner now for Gracie Maloney. It'll be Yaklin down at first base. Runners on the corners for Annika Silver. Silver asks for time and gets it. Vernick taking a little extra time in the circle for Silver's liking. And Silver, hot shot into right center. She's gonna make the turn and try to head into second base, and she will do just that. Coasts in with a RBI double. Second run of the inning is in, and the Cougars now lead at 12-0. So now we're gonna get a pinch hitter.
Now batting for the Cougars is number 6, Julia Nowicki.
Julia Nowicki, as the first signs of rain begin to drop down. So Nowicki in for Gafke. Nowicki's first at bat of the ball game. Swing and a miss. Two runners in scoring position here for Nowicki. Fouls one down the first baseline and out of play. Nowicki, hot shot down the first baseline and past Anglin. And 2 more runners will cross home plate. An absolute bullet off the bat of Julia Nowicki. Back to the top of the lineup for Jenna Higgins. Higgins 1 for 2 already, her 4th time at the plate in the ball game. Singled in the first, flew out to the center fielder Mondalek in the first, and walked in the second. Higgins hits an absolute bomb down the third baseline. Nowicki gonna scamper home. And it's an RBI double for Jenna Higgins, and that is the 15th run of the ball game. So now head coach Shelby Weeks is going to work her lineup. I believe we're going to see another pinch hitter here. But before that can happen, Chippewa Valley pitching coach going to have a discussion with his relief pitcher. Entire infield defense comes in to have that chat as well. Well, it looks like Sandals is going to remain in the game. Thought we might see a pinch hitter, but it will be Sandals to bat. 1 for 3 with a double. As Dakota for the 3rd straight inning has officially batted around. Sandals appears ready to go. Slightly open stance in that left-hand batter's box. Waits on it and takes it for a called strike. A little bit of a heavier rain now begins to fall. Takes it up and away. Vernick operates directly in the center of that rubber. Misses outside. Throw at second base. Ooh, and with the head first slide. Two balls, 1 strike the count on Julia Sandals. Sandals goes down and golfs it into right field. 16th run of the game will score. We'll call it a double for Sandals. And now we will, in fact, see a pinch hitter. This will be Katie Rusher now to hit. And Vernick's day is done. With that pitching change, we'll take another quick break here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin. Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
So back to live action. Katie Rusher at the plate now, as it is now straight on downpour. Ball bounces in front of home plate. Mercy rule is 15 runs after 3 innings, so that would come into effect, but Chippewa Valley will get their last at bat. Rusher with that wide open stance, swings through it for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Rusher. Rusher fouls it away. Runner at second base. 16 runs in. Rusher, fair ball down the third baseline. And Dakota will hold the runner at third. Don't want to push this game any more than they have to. So it's a double for Rusher. Brings up Bella Krager. Cleanup hitter. Been on base a couple times in this ball game. Krager, slow tapper down the third baseline for foul ball. Rain continues to pelt down. Krager, slightly open stance, just hits a howitzer down the third baseline for foul ball. Big Red's trying to record the third out of this third inning, and now timeout call by Krager. Be the bottom third of the lineup, 7, 8, 9 for the Big Reds in the bottom of the third. They will get in at bat, trailing 16-0. Mercy rules would come into effect here in this MAC Red game. Another foul ball. Good battle at the plate by Bella Krager. Morgan Vihar and her 2.13 ERA is coming in relief. She's the third pitcher now for the Big Reds in this ball game. Another foul ball. Once again out onto the baseball diamond. Varsity baseball team has ended practice early. pitch misses outside all the way to the backstop. No movement by either base runner for the Cougars. Wind up in the pitch. Krager goes down. Slow grounder to third base. And the third out is recorded. 6 more runs pushed across home plate after 2.5 innings. Cougars lead at 16-0.
Realize this, random events do not provide top-level results. They produce random results. If you train all different times a day, training effect doesn't take place. Anybody who's successful, they're creatures of habit. That means they get up the same time, they go to bed at the same time, they eat their meals at the same time, they train at the same time. If you don't have some kind of a method to the way you're living your life on a day-to-day basis, it's pretty difficult to make progress.
Bottom of the third inning, Maddie Guthrie now in relief for the Dakota Cougars, takes over for the starter Gracie Maloney. So Maloney ends up going 2 innings, strikes out 5, and we'll turn it over now to Maddie Guthrie. We'll look to get the final 3 outs of what should be a Mercy rule shortened 3-inning ball game. Opportunity for Chippewa Valley, going to have to push across at least 2 runs to keep this ball game going. Weather is quickly becoming an issue as well, as there is a steady rain that has moved in. Temperatures dropped 10 to 15 degrees as well since first pitch. Tessa Klein, the first batter of this bottom of the third inning. She was at the plate when Ella England was cut down trying to go over to second base. So Klein, Kraus, and Munson to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. And Klein's hit by the pitch. So she'll go down to first. Bring up Rachel Kraus. Kraus has committed to Oakland Community College to play softball. Kraus in the 8-hole playing right field. Angelina Munson waits on deck. Get a courtesy runner down at first base for the catcher, Tessa Klein. Kraus grounds it to the shortstop. Second baseman misses the throw. Maybe a little bit too much steam by the shortstop. And allows Kraus to reach first base safely. So runners on the corners, and brings up Angelina Munson. Runner from first takes off for second. So a couple base runners on. Swing and a miss by Munson. Wind up in the pitch to Munson, goes down and gets it. They got the runner trapped between third base and home plate. Now they airmail the throw. So Chippewa Valley able to plate their first runner of the ball game. It's now 16-1. So if Chippewa Valley is able to plate another run, that'll negate the mercy rule. And with 2 runners on and nobody out, it's an opportunity here to score multiple runs. Sam Mondalek at the plate. Abby Palmer waits on deck. Pitch misses low and away. Couple runners on here for Chippewa Valley. Nobody out. Ground ball to the second baseman. They're going to take the easy out at first base. So the first out recorded by the Dakota defense. Second run of the inning, second run of the ball game for Chippewa Valley. Brings up Abby Palmer now. Pitch misses up and away. Angelina Munson, the runner down at third base. Rain continues to pour down. Dakota defense across the infield playing in. Guthrie in the circle in relief for the Dakota Cougars. Mac red play. Cougars in front, 16-2. Guthrie comes home with it. Another hot shot, just foul. Abby Palmer unable to straighten that one out. Guthrie into the windup. Pitch misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Abby Palmer. Frankie Goodrich, the third baseman, due up next. That one just missing. We'll fill up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count on Abby Palmer. Payoff pitch to Palmer. Swung on, foul, tipped into the glove. Second out of the inning is recorded via the strikeout, and it will bring up Frankie Goodrich. High strike call. Home plate umpire. Chippewa Valley offense getting started here. 2 runs scored in this bottom of the 3rd inning. Goodrich singles into left field. Third run scored by the Big Reds in this third inning. 16-3 our score. So it'll be the cleanup hitter, Ari Neal, now at the plate for the Big Reds. Pitch misses up and away. One ball, no strikes, 2 away here for the Big Reds offensively. Ari Neal, straightaway center field, all the way into the left center gap, third out of the inning. Damage done, Big Reds push across 3 after 3 innings of play. It's Dakota 16, the Chippewa Valley Big Reds 3. Well, unfortunately, that's going to do it for our coverage today. Due to the inclement weather, our broadcast is going to end after 3 innings of play with the Dakota Cougars in front of the Chippewa Valley Big Reds 16-3. We hope you enjoyed today's Chippewa Valley Cable Television production. For our hardworking crew, I'm Brad Fetters saying goodbye. And we'll get you a final score here in MAC Red play.